Now, in a way, Buddhism is not a religion like other religions. Buddhism is actually an investigation into life. You can call it a way of life. You can even call it a science. Because nowadays, as science progresses, there are a lot of things that does not contradict the Buddha's teachings at all. In fact, it corroborates the Buddha's teachings. 2,500 years ago, the Buddha did not need a radio telescope to look into space. He saw and he described space to us. He called the galaxies Chakrawala. Chakra is a Sanskrit word that means a disc, right? It's also a Malay word, right? That means a disc. So he could see that galaxies are flat like a disc. And he talked about 1,000-world galaxy, 1,000-world system. Each world is supposed to consist of one sun. One sun. Whenever you see a star in the sky, that's one sun. And there's a possibility of human beings there. So the Buddha talked about 1,000-world system. That's a small world system. Then the Buddha talked about 1,000 world system. 1,000 of these clusters of 1,000 world, 1,000 of these make up a middle 1,000-fold world. And then the Buddha talked about the great 1,000-fold world system. So, just now we had the middle 1,000-fold world system, 1,000 of these again. The Buddha's psychic power was so great, he could see so far. In addition to this, the Buddha said that the space is infinite. You cannot find the limits of space. And the Buddha also said that time had no beginning and time will have no end. And these are the things that only now Professor Stephen Hawkins has verified. But in addition to this, the Buddha said something else which science has not verified. That consciousness can be developed, like the Buddha's consciousness can be developed to be boundless. So like these holy men, when their conscious becomes boundless, then they can know what happens in other parts of the world. Before I came into Buddhism, I went on a long spiritual search. So I was studying these Hindu books, and remember reading one Hindu holy man. He was talking to his disciples, and suddenly he kept very quiet, closed his eyes for a few minutes. Later they asked him why. He said, there's a boat somewhere in Japan sinking. Some fishermen are sinking in a boat. So because his mind is so sort of expanded, he can know what is happening. Now most religions ask us to avoid evil and do good. This you also have in Buddhism. But in addition to that, the third one, very important, is to purify our mind. Purify our mind. A lot of people don't understand why, but later perhaps you might know why mind is so important in Buddhism.